Hi, this is Rhonda with Hallstrom Home, and today we are going to chalk paint this frame, and we're also going to distress it. And I'm going to show you a really quick, easy way to distress it without sanding it so much. So we're going to start with some Vaseline on just a basic chippy brush. And anywhere that you don't want the paint to stick is where you're going to apply the Vaseline. So we're just going to go ahead and do this all the way around the mirror. And you don't have to worry about being perfect when you do this, because we're just going to create that shabby chic look, a little bit of a vintage appeal to it, like it's been around forever. So as I complete this, let me first welcome you here and to ask you that if you are interested in paint techniques, DIYs, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because we'll have a lot more coming up. And I like to have things really quick and easy, and I hope that you do too. So be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and I would really appreciate it. You can also leave any comments. If you have any questions, feel free and leave that as well, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Okay, now I'm going to set my Vaseline aside, and I have just a mixture of colors. So I mixed a basic white and a cream chalk paint to make it a little bit, I guess, a creamy white. I'm just going to apply the paint wherever I want the paint to be. And then remember, we're going to wipe this off once it's dry, so we won't actually be sanding our frame. And again, we don't have to go for perfection here, so that's what's really nice when you're creating this vintage style. But we do want to, on this particular one, I'm going to really get my bristles down into the details here. There's many different ways that you can create a shabby chic look. There's really no right or wrong, but today this is just how we're going to do it. And if you want to know brands of paint that I like to use, we also have a product source page on the blog at Hallstrom Home, and that gives you the products that I use, as well as a paint sprayer for chalk paint that I use when I'm doing something like an armoire. So if you will notice, you can get really close here, the paint's looking, well, it's not sticking real well right here, and that's what we're wanting, because once this is dry, then we're going to come back and wipe this off, and it'll just come off super easy. So one of the tips and tricks I like to do to speed up the drying process, because if you anything like me, a little impatient, I use a handy hair dryer. And so I'm going to show you what you can do to get even a little bit more of that chippy goodness look while using your hair dryer. So let's go. So I'm using just a basic paper towel, and I just come along here on the edges, and you can see how this paint lifts off. Once it's dry, it comes off a lot easier. But see, I'm going to try and get around the edges here. I'll just lay my blow dryer down, and I'm just going to wipe this off. Now, if you're smart, you'll have some gloves on, but well, today, one of those not so smart days. You can use a rag instead of a paper towel if you like. For me, I just kind of grab whatever's handy. Sure, we kind of wipe on the inside too. Okay, and so now we have just kind of a light distressing. Maybe some people would think it's a lot, but if I want to add a little bit more, I can just use a wet wipe, and you go along and clean that up a little bit more. See how you can really expose the gold here for a lot more depth. And it comes off super easy with a wet wipe. So let me go ahead and do this all over our frame. I'm getting the inside and a little bit of the outside edge as well. And you see how this here kind of has that chippy look. And you can see that the water is kind of puddling here. That's not a big deal. This is kind of one of those projects that works well for those that are not perfectionists. Okay, and so now our frame is done. You can go ahead and put a clear wax on this, or you don't even have to wax it at all. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut the mirror to size and glue it in, and you will be able to find this in my shop at Host from Home. So thanks for joining me, and don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget, don't be a miserable cow. Sorry, it was just on my shirt. I had to say it.